Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll share how to draft a female trouser and a basic pants pattern tutorial with you. I'll give a detailed method I use every time I draft a female trouser. This tutorial will boost your confidence on how to draft a well-fitted female trouser, so stay with me to the end. The measurements required are the waist circumference, the hip circumference, waist to hip, crouch depth, waist to knee, full length, and hem. Material required for the work are the pattern paper, French curve, scissors, straight ruler, tape rule, and marker. So before I start the work properly, I'll come down by 2 inches from the start of the pattern. If you are using your fabric, you can also come down 2 inches from the start of your fabric. Then I'll also go in by like 2 inches. You can go in 2 inches, 1 inch or 1.5. This is in order for me to achieve everything I want to achieve without making any form of side mistake. So after that is done, the next thing I'll do is to impute my measurement. The first thing I did was to take my hip line measurement. I also took my crouch depth line, but I'm going to leave that crouch aside first. Then I'll draw a straight line on my hip line. After that is done, this first line I drew will serve as my waistline. So on that waistline, I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 4. Then I'll place it on that waistline and mark. So the hip measurement is 40. 40 divided by 4 will give me 10 inches. So I'll mark the 10 inches on the waistline, and I'll come to the hip line and also mark 10 inches. Then I'll connect it from that hip line to the waistline this way. So once I'm done with that, the next thing I'll do is take my crouch depth measurement. My crouch depth is 10 inches. In order to get your crouch length, you place the person sitting on the chair, then you measure the distance from the waist to the chair the person is sitting on, and you will get your crouch length. Another way of getting the crouch depth is to add 2 inches to your hip length, and you will get your crouch depth. The next thing to do is to place my measurement on my crouch depth. The measurement I'll use is my thigh divided by 2. The thigh measurement is 24. 24 divided by 2 will give me 12 inches. I'll mark the 12 inches and also add 0.5 inch for ease. After that is done, I'll use the French curve to connect from the hip line to the crouch line. I'll take a curve this way. After that, the next thing I'll do, I'll place my tape on my waistline. Then I'll take out my waist measurement, the waist divided by 4. Then I'll add 1 inch for that allowance. Then I'll connect it to the hip line. You can use your French curve or freehand to do this. You just connect it and blend it in to your line this way. So if this is a free pants pattern you are drafting, this will basically, or you just connect from your crouch length to your full length to create your full length trouser. But for this tutorial, I'll be drafting a fitted female pant trouser. So I'll place my tape on my hip line and look for the midpoint of my hip line measurement. So the midpoint is 5 inches. So I'm going to connect the 5 inches from the waistline to the hip line this way. After that, I'm going to place my tape on my waist to look for my new length measurement. My new length is 19 inches. I'll mark 19 inches and draw a straight line on that 19 inches mark. So the next thing I'll do now is to extend that straight line on the midpoint of my hip measurement. I will extend it to this new length. So the next step now I'll take is to take the full trouser length. I will place my tape from the waist and I will measure down to the full trouser. The full trouser length is 39 inches. 39 inches, I'll add 2 inches for seam allowance. If you notice, this pattern will not be up to 39 inches, so I'll be using the available length to draft this pattern. The idea is for us to know how to draft a fitted female pants trouser. So the next thing I'll do now is to mark the hemline, that's the full trouser length, on with a straight line so that it will be obvious for us to draft our pattern properly. Then I'll connect the straight line of the midpoint of the hip down to our hemline this way. So the next thing I'll do now is to place my rounding measurement. I'll divide my rounding measurement by 2. Then I'll also divide it by 4. So now divided by 2 will give me 8.5. Divided by 4 will give me 4.25. So on one side of the pattern, on the one side of the line, I'll add my 4.25. On the other side, I'll add my 4.25 from the midpoint, from that straight line, just the way you see me doing it. So the next thing I'll do now is to take my round hem measurement. You place your tape around your ankle and you will get your round hem measurement. So I'll divide the round hem measurement by 2, then I'll also divide it by 4, then I'll place it on both sides of the line, just the way I did for the new. So the next thing I'll do now is to connect from my crouch line to the new, then from the new to the hem line. So after that, I'll also connect from the other side, from the crouch line to the new line, then from the new line to the hem. So this is the full view of what we've been drafting since. The first line is the waist, the second is the hip, the third is the crouch length, the fourth is the knee, the second to the last is the hem, while the 2 inches is for seam allowance. As you can see, I've marked out this place out. That's the place we'll be cutting out when I want to cut. So I'll go ahead and cut now so that we can start the back pattern. Please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for watching to this point. Subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. So I am done cutting. The next thing I'll do now is to draft the back pattern. In order to do that, I'm going to place my front on a new pattern paper, then I'll pin it down. So I'm done pinning the front pattern to a new pattern paper. It's on this new pattern paper now we'll draft the back pattern. So on my waistline, I'm going to add 2 inches. On the hip line, I'll also add 2 inches in front of the pattern paper that I have placed on it. Then on the crouch line, I'll also add 2 inches. Then I'll place my tape this way and add 2 inches. Then I'll use straight ruler to connect the dots to create a straight line, just like I have on this front pattern. I'll also extend my hip line. As you know, if you notice, the first line I drew was not neat or straight, so I tried to draw another one. So it's good you draft on pattern, so when you make mistake, you correct your mistake before you continue your work. I'll also extend the crouch line with a straight line this way, just the way I did for the front pattern. Then I'll connect it with a curve. So when you are drafting your own, you take your time so that you achieve a neat work. So I went ahead to connect my waistline to this new waistline for my back pattern with a straight line, as you can see. Then on that waistline now, I went up by 2 inches on that waistline. Then I'll connect it this way. So now to achieve the waist for my back, I'm going to place my straight ruler this way. I'll connect it from that 2 inches down to this waist measurement. So after that is done, the next thing I'll do now is to place 2 inches straight from that crouch line, 2 inches down. I'll just be placing it 2 inches so that I will not make mistake. I'll be getting it dots on every, like on the new length, I'll add 2 inches, on the hem 2 inches, so that I will get a straight 2 inches line from my crouch. Once that is done, I'll connect it with a straight line from that crouch length down to my hem, my full trouser length. So for the front, I'll come down by 1 inch. That is because of the band. The front waistline is a little bit low. It's not exactly on the waist. So in order to create that curve on the waist, I'll come down by 1 inch and connect it to the end of the waistline on the other side. So this is basically all on how to draft a female pant trouser. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut it so that we'll see what it looks like. So my dear fashionistas, this is what our trouser looks like, guys. As you can see, it's looking very fine and well put together. Please make sure your own looks even better, and if you enjoyed what you've watched so far, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and comment your thoughts in the comment section. Feel free to ask your questions. I'll be right there to answer every one of them. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe for more. See you in my next video.